But hold on, it might make a loud pop.
Shauna, do you have the fire extinguisher ready?
And by Facebook experts, this means that people that don't ride, that spend way too much typing on the computer, and their information is suspect at best, although they do proclaim to be experts. They'll tell you, like, I'm a Facebook expert too. We're on Facebook right now, Mike, live on the expert show.
And I'm not an expert in anything.
Had a little technical difficulty. I thought I was all focused. I really did. I showed everybody on Instagram how focused I am, and it didn't work. So hopefully we've got sound now. There was evidently a problem with, I updated some software, and as usual, the whole thing takes a dump. So that's where we're at. Here we go. I was live. I see that. I need to go to my other account here and figure out if it's really working or not. Here. No, it doesn't even remember who I am. That's good. Probably didn't pay him enough money. I think we're live on our show right now. Here we are. I was live. Look, it works. Getting sound. There we go. Okay. I'll start all over again, just like right now. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, episode number 291. At least I remember it. This is the show where we talk about motorcycle and motorcycle-related products. I didn't drink that much tequila or any tequila before I didn't turn the sound on, but it was a computer update. It's not my fault. It is my fault because I'm in charge. The only person I had focus, and there we go. I took some focus before the class or the show, and it didn't work out. So now I'm completely flustered. I'm here to answer your motorcycle and motorcycle product related questions. Thank you, Bennett Fab. The sound now works. It's been a struggle. Okay. Train of thought completely derailed. That's why I'm going to have a little bit of this Los Sundays tequila, because that'll make everything worse, right? So the way this show works is we answer your motorcycle product related questions. The way that you get them answered is you, right now, if you're watching live, put them in the chat. If you are listening to this as a podcast, you pick up a phone, especially a rotary dial phone, and you dial 911 and say, I don't know how to get on the internet and watch the show live. And but you can also send me an email, jimmy@dirtbiketest.com. I answer all the motorcycle questions in the emails on this show. I don't necessarily reply back to you. Sometimes I say, tonight on the show. That's the answer you're going to get, because I want to go riding more than I want to type on a computer. But tonight, we've got a lot of questions. I got my good buddy Mike back from Hawaii, who's going to join me in a little bit. Mike has some questions. Mike is a Nora Mexican 1000 finisher on a bike. You know, when I talk about bikes for sale all the time, I say I have bikes. Mike bought a bike, took it to Mexico, raced Nora, finished, bike worked perfect. I'm just blowing myself here. Bike worked perfect. And now he's back and he's taking his bike and he's going to go riding up in northern Nevada. So good times. So cheers, everybody. It's good to see you. Although I can't see you, you can just see me. So tell us where you're at, where you're from in the chats, so I can see who's out there. That helps. Some people, like the way that they watch this, whether it's YouTube or Facebook, they can't actually interact that way. I've been told. So, or they're just lurking. So, yes. I have another document here that I need to call back up that has my questions of the week that I've compiled, and I'm working on that. Internets are a little bit slow because we're streaming all this stuff here, but I found it. Here we go. Here's question number 1. Hello, we are interested in placing an article on your website. Can you please provide us with your rates for posts, do follow, no follow, and sponsored links? This is what you get when you're an influencer, like us. We'd also like if you expect payments via PayPal. We look forward to your response with the information. Susan, let's see. She didn't even tell me how awesome. Usually they start out by telling you how awesome we are. And they compliment. They've never read a word off of our website. And then you want to put a picture of earbuds or something up that. But we have the exciting Rooster Endo segment coming up tonight. Got 2 entries in that, so it's a 50% chance. If you send it in, you will win $100 from Taco Moto. That's tacomoto.co. If you need parts for your bike, they're actually local to me because they're in Las Vegas. They have a little bit of everything and a lot of expert technical services to get your bike tuned up just right. They sponsor this show and that segment so that they can help you out a little bit. So also, big sponsor of the show, Yamaha. I just got to ride the Tenere World Raid, although I can't talk about it. I cannot talk about anything I know about the bike performance-wise. Your link isn't working. And somebody else says they don't live in Idaho. And then this guy named JB Black, who might be an author, who might write books like Written in Scars and 16, 20 other books. I could read a poem. Maybe I could read Rubble. I could read Rubble for you, but I read it in a special voice. Like this. I could, but I'm not gonna. Actually, it's a segment on this show brought to you by Fok U Racing. They're the ones that provide me with my wardrobe. The segment is you pay me not to read one of Jerry's poems, so you don't have bad dreams tonight. And if you have kids, you have to take them without an earshot if I do read one of those. So, like I said, we talk about motorcycles and motorcycle-related products. Sean, what link isn't working? Probably one of the ones like it's probably one of our Rocky Mountain ATV MC links where we get a little thing, or our Amazon link. Sometimes we have an Amazon link, like an affiliate marketing thing, where we get a little bit of money because the whole purpose, my existence, is to repel money on this endeavor. So I haven't shut up enough to get this tequila onto my lips. You're running behind. A little behind, but hey, if I have to go long, I'll go long. Okay, Mike, why don't you join us over here in this studio? It looks like a kind of like a tweaker. Like if you saw the whole, if you could see a little lower than where the camera's at, it looked like a tweaker found some stuff and piled it in the center of this table. There's lots of items that I like to talk about. I was going to talk about, well, I actually did. I was going to talk about these Pabst Blue Ribbon, we like to call them beer goggles, but I haven't even opened them yet. But a secret admirer sent me that and the shirt. Mike, hold that shirt up there, would you? Go to the wide. There we go. You notice a little additive that we put in the side. That's me testing out the suspension on the 2027 Honda Sierra 450 that you're just going to get to watch me compress the earth underneath the motorcycle while I do that. It's on. I can make it on this one too. Look, I can. Hold on. Wait, there it is right there. There it is. Just because Trevor thinks that I'm embarrassed by this, but I'm just, as an old guy, we'll probably throw the headphones on.
We got to work on your product placement.
Product placement?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm not getting any money from any of that. I get millions from most of my sponsors. Trevor, thinks I'm embarrassed by this little video clip, but when you get old, sometimes you forget where things are on the track. Like I was riding around having a really good time. I was thinking about how the bike was working. And then this is the infamous Chatapults. This is the jump that Chad Reed just wadded on. He pulled a whole shot, came up, scrubbed the thing, and you don't know how he scrubbed it, but didn't scrub it. And he launched, because the reason you scrub is so you can go faster off the jump. Well, he didn't do something. He kind of bike kicked on the face, slid kicked. He went way up in the air, and it's a famous video. I should have pulled a clip of that from somehow. But so if he were to do it, he would land like, way past that. But you'll see when I ride over the top of it here, like that's the bottom of the hole. And then it's glitching a little bit. That's the bottom of the hole that you're seeing. And then technically that's the landing where you see me kind of riding up to the top right there, or that last little part where the little roost, that's the landing. if I had cased it, because Trevor says I cased it, I would have landed right there, but I landed in the hole, like really bad. So it's not an easy jump because you have to go really slow.
Well, it's way better than casing it.
Yeah, because like technically, if you're talking about casing, so if you're casing, it means you land on the cases. So the wheels, the cases touch and the wheels don't. That's what casing means. But I landed with both wheels like squarely planted in the lowest part, and kind of like on the right as it started to get an uphill. And there's a little neck dribble, and there's a big compression, and you know, some people call me numbnuts every once in a while. So Brent Fab says flex bars help for casing triples. Ha ha. Yeah. Ha. I have flex bars on all my handlebars. Fast Company, big supporter of the show. But I'm testing a stock motorcycle here, so no flex bars. No, they would have helped for sure. But mostly me jumping the whole thing would have helped. It was way easier to do that jump than to slow down every lap and kind of try to get a little bit of backside on the mini tabletop before you land on the jump. So enough about me. Mike McHale, welcome to Tech Talk Taco Tuesday.
Thank you.
I'm going to check your sound levels and make sure they can hear you. You might have to like gargle that microphone. I put my headphones on backwards, but that's just the way I do things. Okay. Say hi, Mike.
Hi, everybody.
Okay. I think it's going to work. If we're too quiet, just let us know. We'll try to fix it, although it's pretty helpless on this show. So we answer any motorcycle question that you have. Well, we're going to start out tonight. We're going to start with Rooster Endo because I start feeling bad that the people that watch this show only to get the 100 taco bucks that have to wait like that. I mean, it's hard enough for them to actually have to send an email that includes the year, make, and model of their motorcycle. Putting a nice photo is very difficult for them too. I'm explaining the rules of the contest. Put Rooster Endo in the subject line so I can find it. Year, make, and model so I know what we're dealing with. Brought to you by Taco Moto. You don't have to put that, but that's how you're going to get it. If you win, you get 100 taco bucks to help you with your next purchase there. And then you tell us a little bit about your bike, and you can just list off what you did to it, or you can tell us a story or whatever you want to do. So we are going to get started with Rooster Endo, brought to you by Taco Moto. And I have a slide. Look at that. This is Seth Waterfalls. And you know what else helps? You might know this. It helps if you're actually in the chat so you can cheer for yourself and rally a little bit of support. Oh, yeah. Because it's up to us, Mike and I, to determine which one brings us the most joy, whether it roosts or endos. And if it brings us joy, then we will, turn you over to Taco Moto and you'll get some taco bucks. So
I think last time we did this, the guy with the homemade stand crushed it.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with his motorcycle. Yeah. So let's see. Get a little closer. Just talk it. Oh, you're gonna have to. Yeah, I think you should scoot the chair up closer to the microphone, and then we'll have audio. So okay, back to Rooster Endo. This is Seth Waterfalls 2024 Beta 200 RR Race Edition. That is absolutely 100% a Jimmy Lewis approved motorcycle. I'm a big fan of 200 two-strokes. I'm pretty sure that I gave it a very positive review. Be careful. There's a lot of toys to play with on the set. Give it a really positive review. Even though the show is brought to you by Yamaha, we will talk about other brands, although it's probably what we say 90% chance of you winning if it's a Yamaha. No, I'm just joking. So, he has, you want to read this stuff? And I can take a sip of this
sure.
Focus water.
So 2024 Beta 200 RR Race Edition. He's got ODI Carmichael high bend bars, ASV levers, molecule flag system handguards, True North Beta multifunction switch delete, bulletproof Beta radiator guards.
Bulletproof Designs, big sponsor of Tech Talk Taco Tuesday.
Michelin Mousses, a Cherbys large gas tank, TM Design skid plate, FMF silencer, and a Beta rear disc guard.
Okay, so I'm always kind of analyzing the photos a little bit here, just so you know. I'm a little bit of a picky bitch. I used to edit at a magazine.
Where is Seth Waterfall from? That's a pretty cool backdrop.
I'm going. So this is where. I don't know if that's Rainier or Helen's, because it looks like it has a cloud on it, but that's the side, isn't it? Is that Helen's and that blue? That's where Helen's blew out, or is that
Helen? So we use Washington for sure.
Oh yeah, Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's from, but that's a very iconic spot. Because I've been to a spot just like this. I know, and I'm looking back, but you wouldn't see Helen's. You would see Rainier. Hold on a second. Wait, that reminds me of something.
I mean, Seth kind of crushed it with the picture. He's got good lighting. He's got a great bike. He's got a great backdrop.
Yeah, that's for sure a thing. I have a way to verify this. You're not going to believe this. This might seem just like how would that happen? But like I have this, so we're going to figure out whether it's Rainier or not, because I think there's got to be an image of that mountain on this can, right? You would think. So let's. I mean, there's got to be somebody in the chat that'll know the answer to this. Dial 411. Wait a minute, that's my wife.
Heather.
Why do I? Is there an emergency? What's 411?
Oh,
that's information.
Yeah.
Oh, because I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll argue with her on that. I'm surprised she doesn't call the show, because now she's an official dirt bike test rider. She did the Super 10 or the 10 or 8 World Raid for us.
Well, maybe she's talking about the mountain.
Oh, which mountain it is? I don't know. I'm looking at the picture. You got to look through the R, Mike. Take a look at that and see if it looks like it.
My glasses over. This Rainier is cold. This is actually good beer.
I know.
This might go down.
With you?
Yeah.
I know where there's more.
Oh, okay.
It's not like the last one. I did import it from. So let's pull that. Like I'm not really. See if it tastes like that mountain. Hold on a second. You look at it. Compare that to the other one. I know I have. Compare to that.
We're getting the glasses totally. Shauna's going to be on the show in a minute.
Okay, because she has some questions. She wants to know how to find you out in the desert. Yeah. Okay, so this is, by the way, Roosterendo. This is the part of the show where we
go back to. It's looking pretty Rainier.
Okay, here we go. Roosterendo. I think it could be Rainier.
There's a big lump on the top.
Yeah,
that's
it's kind of the same.
Let me taste test it.
Yeah. that was mine, but
it's definitely Rainier.
I'm trying to do watch you drinking essay. Well, right now Mike's drinking Rainier. I had a little bit of Los Sundays. I tried to stay focused. This show is all about high quality, so we blew the first 20 minutes trying to figure out how to plug the soundboard in. I think Seth's bike. Actually, everything about Seth's bike, which is a Beta 200RR. Forget the mountain in the background now. Nice photo, good angles, got some good protective stuff on it. It looks like it gets ridden hard. I like it. I'm saying Roost, no doubt about it. I like red, white, and blue too.
Yeah, that's 100% Roost.
Okay, Roost. So Seth gets a Roost. Okay, so that was kind of an easy one, actually.
And he got me a beer by Jimmy having to pull this up. That's double Roost.
I might get a beer too.
Oh.
I can get one too. I got this Miller Extra Light. It's better than regular beer because it tastes like water.
I think that's an endo. This is a real.
I was just trying to tell everybody that we do everything high quality around here. Everything on this set is high.
You got this to make up for that.
Yeah, but it's tasty. Yeah. No, it isn't. It just is way on sale. I mean, they could barely give these things away, and that's why I bought them. I would be having what's on my hat or my goggles. Where did the goggles go? Did you sit on them?
No.
They were on the set someplace.
We got the shirt.
Yeah, my beer does not match my jersey. Let's put it that way. Isn't that Shasta? No, that's not Shasta. That's definitely not Shasta. Mm-mm. This could be Shasta. Do you remember Shasta?
Shasta soda?
Yeah, this could be that. Okay. Well, everybody, we're doing our best to try to keep this show on the rails, and we haven't even got started. But it's up to you to ask questions that relate to motorcycles and motorcycle products, and we'll do our best to answer them. But after that, we're going to move on to item number 2 in Roosterendo. This is Paul Siggs. Paul.
Whoa.
Yeah. Paul Spriggs. I think that's what I put here. I didn't copy the name very well. So Paul for Roosterendo has a 1974 Yamaha TY80. And it has trick suspension with stiffer than stock eBay Chinese rear shocks and 20-weight fork oil. This just goes to show you that you do not have to have the latest, greatest thing to enter into Roosterendo. We will enjoy reviewing everybody's motorcycle. What else does it have, Mike?
Where'd you leave off? Flame painted gas tank that was temporarily used on a flat track bike. So this thing is very custom. Custom foot pegs pulled from motorcycle scrap pile that are actually better than stock. Front number plate from a KX250.
This is starting to sound. Remember our bike that we built in Hawaii?
This is definitely the Magic Carpet.
The Magic Carpet, yeah.
Rear fender is a cut YZ250 front fender. Chopped front fender is from a Hodaka last model. Hodaka last model. Dirt squirt that came up with plastic fenders. The heavy flywheel on this thing helps pull an adult up a steeper hill than you think should be possible. Keep up the good podcast. Thanks, Paul Spriggs.
Okay, so Paul is definitely throwing in some. My sound level's horrible. It's down.
Paul threw a serious hammer into this Roosterendo here.
Well, okay. First of all, it's a Yamaha. We have to be honest with you here. That isn't going to affect it at all, right? Yamaha helps bring you Roosterendo, not as much as Takamoto though, because Takamoto is giving up that $100 gift certificate. So if you're in the chat, and Rod, love it. Well, which one? You've got to tell us which one, Roger and Victor. So the good thing is with this photo, by the way, is he actually got it in the light. Okay, so it does have some lighting. I guess he would have to lay down on the ground to get a better angle because the thing is all of about 15 or 20 inches tall. It's a mini trials bike. That's what Yamaha made these as.
Oh wow!
Back in the day.
So it's probably got a good flywheel, huh?
Yeah, and he said he's got a better flywheel in it. The heavy, or maybe it's just he's talking about the stock flywheel. But I'm not going to deny that if you have a good torquey little motor and you crack the throttle just a little bit, they're not going to stall. I do like the custom everything because I'm pretty sure you're not going to find plastic for that at a Chirby's. And so I give this thing 100% Roost just based on the effort put into this.
Yeah, the ingenuity on that is Roost all the way.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a tough one. We're gonna Yamaha. Roger says the Yamaha, and I think that's what Victor was talking about. The old Yamaha. Man, that poor guy. I shouldn't have said anything about how if you send in a picture of a Yamaha, you just automatically win because it seems like I'm going there. But we're gonna.
Yeah, but this isn't your average Yamaha.
I mean, but everybody else. Okay. Well, here's the argument. It's like people are gonna. I'd much rather have that bike to go ride it, right?
Well, yeah, to ride it for sure.
But to win Roosterendo, you got to have this bike.
This is a tough one.
I know. I'm right there.
Has there ever been a two-way tie on Roosterendo? Or is it winner takes all?
I think one time we skipped a show or something, and I managed to talk Taco Mike into giving me double things. My sound is horrible. I don't know what's wrong with this stupid thing. I'm gonna quit doing this podcast one of these days and figure out how to make this thing work. There we go. I'm trying to fix the show live on the show. I don't know what I touched to wreck my sound. Well, it's better. Some people say it'd be better if I just didn't talk at all. Told that my entire life. Oh man.
Just ride, don't talk.
All of the buttons are in the right place. So if your mic is low again. Well, no, Mike is higher than me. Yeah. My mic is low. I'm really trying to bring it up. I'm looking at all the buttons. I can go like this. Do you hear that scratchy noise?
Yeah.
Wait, this soundboard's broken. It's definitely broken. I didn't even spin it. I touched it and I think it's clipping. Yeah. Now it's way down. Let's see if I can fix it by going like this. And then that's like kind of over processed. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh, I got to get in. Hold on. I'm going to try switching my mic.
Why don't you take over this mic?
No, I'm going to, yeah, I should, but hold on. It might make a loud pop.
Shauna, do you have the fire extinguisher ready?
Roger says I need more speaking fluid.
Oh, this?
I don't know. We can try that later. This show's going that way right now. We'll see how this works. Okay, here we go. Check. Jimmy's back, I think, hopefully. Let's see if this helps. I'm running it up there. It's the counter on the right side is the one that we're doing here. That's even better. Check. Okay, that's what you're going to get for the rest of the show. Thank you for more technical difficulties. How are we going to fix this problem? There, that's right. Is it clipping on the sound feed? Like when you're watching it, does it go like I'm jumping right there and go boom? You hear that? Does that shock the system? I don't know. So, hey, the good thing is the internet does not refuse content. So anything, even a show as horrible as this, can just be live all the time. Okay, Roosterendo, one more time. I'm going to show you the photos. So you can either have the beta, which is this, or the Yamaha. So Seth's beta, or it was Paul's 1974 Yamaha TY80. So vote in the, we'll bring it up a few more times during the show. If either of those guys were in the chat, I would automatically make them win. Almost. Well, I would actually, because it shows support of the show more than just sending in a picture trying to get $100. So if you want to enter your bike in Roosterendo, send an email to me, Jimmy@dirtbiketest.com. Put Roosterendo in the subject line. Make sure you include your make and model, and tell us a little bit about your bike with a nice photo. So that's how you would win. So okay, moving on to the next segment of the show, we have questions. Do you want to ask? Mike has questions. You want to ask your questions?
Shauna, you want to come in? Okay, so my question is...
Okay, he's got this thing.
We got this device.
It's a Garmin. It's basically a Garmin InReach Mini. So Mike is
come on in.
Getting into the technical side here. So you can sit in the here we go. So we're getting into the technical side. You know, the viewership, watch the viewership. I'm going to show you the number right down here. Watch it. Now there's a girl in the show. It'll just skyrocket. I promise you. You have no idea. You have no idea how this works.
Okay. So yeah, I'm getting into the technical side. I did Nora Rally and did the navigation, which was really cool. And we're coming up on, Shauna and I are coming up on spending more time here in the mainland. Mm-hmm. And I'll be riding predominantly by myself, and so we need safety, like
different levels of it. Just so kind of what they have a lot of questions about this, because I ride a lot with friends and by myself, and I carry a tracker also. So I carry an InReach, not the Mini. I carry the I wish I knew which one it was called. It's a little square one.
Yours is a different one.
Explorer or something like that.
Okay, here's the backstory on all this. I got here, and Jimmy sent me out on a road book at like 5:45. I'm like, oh, I'll be back in time. Fine, right before it gets dark. He's like, yeah, you'll be fine. Got lost, bike problems. It's dark. I don't know where I was. First time riding in Pahrump. He's like, oh, just go north. I go north. Bike dies. And his friend Jeremy finds me miraculously because I'm carrying one of these.
I gave him mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm a believer.
That bike, you shouldn't have told the story about the bike die, because at the beginning of the show.
Well, you fix that. That was before the race.
I know, but well, that's why we tested it. That was the whole purpose of testing it.
Yeah.
So the bike that was perfect right after I sold it.
Yeah, and that bike did the whole peninsula. No
Okay,
problem.
so I put my little InReach Mini InReach Messenger. Okay, that's what it's called. The Garmin. Seth is in the thing. Seth, were you here like 5 minutes ago, or is it brand new? Just curious, because you might have missed a very important segment of the show. Possibly.
Oh, Seth, you should lobby for your bike.
No, don't tell him that. No. I want to see if he was there.
Okay. Anyway, so we got one, and we're just going to ask Jimmy if he can give us some tips. He has a protocol on how he uses it.
Right. And so we try to maximize or take advantage of as much as we can. So this is a satellite tracker, and it's a two-way communication device. So you can text through it. There's apps you can get on your phone. So I'll actually call it my Messenger app. And this is, I love and I hate Garmin. I hate all of their interfaces, and they're kind of like Apple in the way. So yeah, it's called an InReach Messenger. At least that's the app that I'm using. So I'll show this up on the screen here. I'll try a damn dinosaur. It's in the way. You can hardly see it, but anyways, there's an app that I have on my phone. The lighting's horrible in here, kind of like the sound and everything else about this podcast. So there's an app, and you can connect to your thing, because they used to have ones with keyboards and all these different things, where they had custom messages where there are only 3 messages. Now I can literally text satellite anytime I'm off the grid. The cool thing about the Messenger, the one that I have, is anytime you're on the grid or there's a cell service, it'll use that because it's quicker. But when you go off grid, it'll use satellite to send your messages. The unit always tracks where you're at. So it's always, if you turn it on and you start the tracking, I leave my tracking on permanently. If you start the tracking, it will, he logged in earlier, but there was no sound. Well, get used to it. Seth, I get distracted easily when I see the comments, but I'll try not to. So it's constantly tracking you. There's different plans and levels you can buy. Like one is a 10-minute tracker, so it pings every 10 minutes. And then there's the 2-minute tracker, which is the one I use, that pings every 2 minutes. It's just a, because I'm using it a lot, and we use it when we're kind of doing race things and stuff like that. And that way you can really see exactly where you go. 10 minutes, there's a little bit of a delay, as you can imagine. With the 2-minute tracking also comes like unlimited text. So I can send messages, I hardly ever do, but in case something goes wrong, I just feel like, actually it's just, if something goes wrong, I don't care what it costs at that point, but I think you get like 50 messages or texts on the 10-minute plan, which is like a $30 a month plan. I think it goes up to somewhere around 50, maybe 55 or 60 for the 2-minute plan. And then you can text as much as you want. And they have a plan where you can share photos and stuff like that, but that's ridiculous. This is not what they're for. So just in use, you can generally see where the person that has the tracker is all the time. And then you can set up what they call preset messages. So very easily on the phone, I can click a button and I could literally send a message. And so my messages say, I have 3, and I think you're allowed 3. And I think with this one, you can set up custom messages on the website. I know that if I change these custom messages, or I go to their default ones, I lose them when I go to that messenger. So there's some differences between this is better for the custom messages. I don't know if they change it. This is this weird stuff that Garmin does. So I have one that says, everything is okay. Jimmy checking in or starting or ending trip. And then I put in a link to my Garmin share page. And if you get this message, this goes out to about 20 people. When I hit this button, like if I did it right now, about 20 people would get a message on their phone, either via text or in an email. Some of them get it both. And it tells them Jimmy's starting a trip. It's everything is okay is what it's saying, which generally when you get that the first time, that means I'm starting the trip. And then I have a second message that it's actually 17 people are getting this. It says, Jimmy delayed. It says, having some issues, but not serious, may alter original plan. And it says, watch. And I don't know exactly what because it only shows a few of the words. I think it says watch, and then it gives the share page link. So this is telling people that something went wrong. Had a flat tire, bike's not working right, whatever. And it just says that I'm delayed. My third message, it's Jimmy help message. It says contact Heather /SFB, San Felipe Bob. These are my two friends as main. So this means something is the next level of serious. It says, I'll need assistance within next 24 hours. This is what the third message says. So, and then by that, at that point, I probably might have pushed a delayed, or I went straight to this help message. And so all the people that are tracking it, the ones, they will get this message and they'll see the help and they'll go, okay, I got to check. They look to see where I'm at. And then they contact Heather as the main point of contact, because we're going to handle this on our own. So this, maybe I fell over and got hurt, but it's not a super emergency. There is a next level, and your device has an SOS button. My device has an SOS button. And what happens is, if something is really wrong and I know that I'm going to need to get extracted, the first thing I do before I text anything else, and this is important, is I push the SOS button. And that activates emergency services. They will try to, and because I've pushed it on accident before, I didn't know I pushed it. They will try to contact you. They will try to contact you through the device to see what's up. And if you don't respond, they're coming. If you respond, they'll try to get as much information as they can. And then they'll start coming, and they will contact your main person, which my main person is my wife. It's Heather. So they'll contact her and say, just to try to get some additional information and let her know what's going on, because she will not get the SOS message. None of your friends, it goes straight to the GeoSnet. Yeah. The network. Yeah. Couple things about this. So number one is, generally with these devices comes a very inexpensive emergency rescue insurance. I recommend buying it. But I've heard, and I'm pretty sure it's true, that if you start contacting other people and then push SOS, that insurance doesn't kick in. So if you know it's bad, or you think it's going to get bad, push the SOS first, then start communicating with other people. But ideally, and you only push it in an emergency, like where I need help now, because don't tie up emergency services for my bike broke. That's that's what I have the help message for. My bike's broken. I know I'm going to need to get extracted, and my message literally says within the next 24 hours. If it's like maybe I fell over and I got hurt and it's bad but not really bad, and I'm like, I'm going to need to get help. It says next 24 hours, but I'm going to be texting right away and saying, hey, you might want to come quicker. I'm not going to bleed out or anything, but whatever. And then in these messages, if I push a delayed and then immediately an okay, it means it's not that serious. If I push delayed but no okay, pay a little bit more attention. The same thing if I push help, but then I go back to delayed, that means you got 24 hours. I mean, with my group, it means you have 24 hours to come and get me. Don't take off work tomorrow, kind of a thing. Right. I'll figure it out. You guys will have enough time to figure out the best plan to activate. So, we use this I have a good group of friends that a lot of them have trackers. When they go on a ride, I get a message, and then I can be of assistance when something goes wrong, if something goes wrong. And I fully realize that when I'm riding this thing, it's not like it's going to fix the problem. I mean, I jokingly say, and I hope it never happens, but I jokingly say that it's like where to find the body, because I have seen it before where someone falls over and knocks themselves out and they just stop moving on the tracker, and they can't do anything about that at that point. Or two different instances. One guy fell over and broke his back. Luckily he was okay, but he broke his back, and he knew he broke his back. He could not get to his tracker to push SOS, but his wife was following it, noticed that he stopped. He stopped in a very weird place. So she called one of their friends that knew where he was and how to go get him. And sure enough, they went up there and he was stuck underneath his bike with a broken back, and they got him out, and he ended up being okay. Another friend of mine had the device in his pannier. She didn't like talking about all this stuff, does she? No, worried. He's done crazy shit his whole life. This is motorcycle stuff. He had
roller coaster was crazier.
So we're gonna get some comments. what I was saying is the other guy had it in his pannier on his motorcycle. He fell over, got stuck underneath his bike, couldn't get out. His muffler melted his tracker.
Yeah, I believe
so
it. Yeah.
It stopped moving in the middle of nowhere, and he finally dug himself out from underneath his bike, and then he was in the middle of nowhere, and he couldn't send a message, but we knew where it pinged last.
Right.
So we sent somebody out there, and by the time we went out there, he got to a place where he had cell phone coverage. He had called, but there was a few people that were tracking him. We were on a group ride. We sort of lost him. Because he kind of went off trail and literally rode through some sand dunes and got stuck underneath his adventure bike. Yeah. And so by the time he dug himself out and got out, he was able to get someplace for his cell phone. He called somebody that they were, we were all looking for him. Oh, okay, he's okay. And then we put it all back together. So stranger things have happened. So I recommend when you're carrying the device, carry it in a place where you can, get to it. So if you need to manipulate the device, there's a way you can kind of push buttons and text. Mine, I think, might have that too, but it's horribly inefficient. You want to use the app, and I hate this that there's two electronic devices that have batteries in them.
Right.
That you want to make sure your batteries are charged up, so in case you need to use it, it all works out. So that's my
Can I ask you another question?
Yeah, you can ask all kinds of questions.
So if Shauna's watching me or Heather's watching you, is that on the Explorer app? There's two different apps?
No, so there's
how do you watch?
There's a page called share.garmin.com.
Okay.
And so this is where there's a whole nother level of this. So there's a share page that that's where it sends the ping to. It goes up, the satellite, and then it goes down to the server, and you have a share page. There's pages you can put on your social media that it'll track you, like some, hikers a lot of times will say, "Hey, follow me and look where I'm at," and it's pinging. Mine are set up as they're all private. But they don't have passwords, so that if all of my friends need to start sharing it, it's pretty easy to grab it and share the name of the share page, so it can be utilized. We also have these other apps. There's a new thing called Boku Tracks that's kind of like Spot Buddy or Spotwalla, where you can load a bunch of different trackers in and see where everybody's at. A lot of times I have the app. I just click on that, and it's always looking for my tracker. So if my tracker's sending data, it's putting dots on a map and shows where it's at. And then you can also see the messages. But generally, the messages come through a text message. But the map and I think in your messages you send out, you should to the people. You should also put the website, the HTTPS share.garmin.com whatever. So it's real easy to put that in and just kind of keep it as a favorite. And then when you're out riding, just click it. And when I'm sitting there working on the computer, my friends are out riding, I have it just on a tab, and I'll just every once in a while if they're 10-minute tracking, every 20 minutes I'll look at it.
Right.
And if it's 2-minute tracking, every 5 or so minutes I'll look at it and all I'm doing is just kind of make sure it keeps moving.
And did you get that share page? Does that come with your monthly paid program?
Yeah. Yeah. It's you set it up on your user account, and
yeah, so you can have it. She can have it on her phone.
Yeah, you can have it on your phone. You have it on the computer, whatever. And it's really easy. Just you're looking at a map, and you're looking at a dot that's every whatever minutes that you decide to do it. And there's ways you can turn the tracker on and off. You can subscribe and unsubscribe, or keep it active in certain ways. But it just really depends on how. And pretty soon we're all going to be having satellite phones. I mean, right now you can, with an Apple phone, you can kind of text anywhere. It's kind of slow, but we just find this because of the tracking. That way, if something goes down where you don't have the ability to respond, to
right.
it, like if they see it stop. So the rule, and the other rule is if I push that OK button, I tell everybody I'm out riding. If I stop for more than 10 minutes, I have to push an OK.
Like the
it won't notify you. You have to do this automatically. So right. We do this as a procedure, because if it stops moving for like more than 10 minutes, actually I think 15 is our kind of like, limit. Like if I see someone, because with the 10-minute tracking, you really wouldn't know. But if you see it stay in a spot for two like more than 20 minutes, it hasn't moved. You're like, I usually zoom in, look at where it's at. Oh, it's at a gas station. Not worried. But if it's in the middle of nowhere and it's 20 minutes, I start calling whoever the main contact is for that person. Hey, You see it isn't moving because maybe they weren't watching or whatever, or they go, yeah, we watched it, or I texted him and he's okay, flat tire. But at that point, if it's one of those things, I would have pushed the delayed button, or if I know I'm going to stop in this river and take a swim, as opposed to I fell over in the river and I'm stuck underneath my bike and I'm drowning.
And I'm panicking at home.
Yeah, and then then there's nothing you do at that point. It's like, well, is it recover the body or his tracker fell out and landed in the river? You don't know, but it's just one level of safety that we didn't have before, and we have this. So, that's kind of the base model. I should really do a document, and maybe kind of write a story on the way that we use it, because I've heard a couple different methods, and luckily I do have a group of people that are willing to, they're stuck behind computers, but they kind of find it interesting to see where I'm going and where I'm riding all the time. So they check it, and then when you're done with your ride, you always do an okay. You signal with an okay, and generally, it'll be back where you started, or it'll be at a hotel or a gas station or wherever you loaded or unloaded, so you can kind of see, okay, they're back and they're okay, but you don't leave them hanging. Like you never finish your ride. And sometimes I start riding, especially in the summer, I'll start riding at 8 o'clock and people think, they just kind of go, oh, well, did he start? Is that a finish? Or no, I'm starting at 8.
Right.
You might get one at 2. Yeah. You might get one at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry. So, anyhow, that's how I use the Garmin and I prefer the inReach over the Spot. We've had much better luck when we have to do communications. When we use it in conjunction with some of these other apps, like in the old day, we had Spot Buddy, and then it just kind of went away. But now we have this thing called Boku Tracks, which I think is available in the App Store right now. I'd have to check to see that. But it's so this is it here. I'm pulling it up. But if I push on mine right now, and I ask it where I'm at, and it's I hope I don't wreck the show. Good, it didn't affect it, but it shows me that I'm in Pahrump.
Right.
And then I've overlaid a track of a rally route that we are going to ride. And then my tracker, when I know where I'm going, like if you make Mike's a rally navigator nerd now.
I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm learning.
So when you make a rally navigator track, you can export the track log of where you're going to ride, and then hopefully. No, into one of these apps.
Okay.
And so if she had the app, then your thing should ping on that line. Right. It shouldn't ping off the line.
Right.
So I would see this.
You would see this, and then you'd see, like, this is me right now. So this is my house. So we're looking at the if you're listening to this as a podcast, we're playing around with my phone right now, which is what you're not supposed to do when you're on a podcast, but we're talking about this. So it's an app. We're looking at a map. You can see here's me at my house, and I'm supposed to go out down the road, turn here. And so you'd see it ping here, and then it would ping here, and then it would, ding, ding, ding. Okay. And so like this is a way that that's
what we want to eventually get to. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it pings way out here off the thing, and they're like, oh, Mike's lost. He's a dumbass. He's lost on the rally. And then you watch it stop for a while, and then it turns and goes back, and then it goes the wrong way.
I think you saw me sitting next to a highway as a rally, away from the finish line.
And so we essentially use our own inReaches as a tracking device, like they do in a rally.
Yeah.
So okay, enough nerd computer talk tonight on Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. No, that's good. Okay, do you have any other questions?
No.
That's it?
I want to be able to know how to find them.
You don't have any motorcycle or motorcycle product related questions? No, none. No. Okay.
But this is cool.
That's Travis Pastrana riding a rhinoceros, or a tacosaurus, or a taco. What's that thing? That's a triceratops. Yeah, that's what that is right there. We've got all the stuff here on Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, brought to you by Yamaha.
Now I'm looking at I don't know if those are questions for me from Nora, or
there are all kinds of questions here. Mike, you can answer this question. Bennett Fab has a question. Mike, how did you navigate Nora? With a tablet or rolling papers? I
went with rolling papers because I just followed Jimmy's lead. And actually, I would recommend rolling papers. I've only done one rally, so I don't have a lot of information, but some of the tablet guys were having a hard time reading their tablets with the sun glare. And one guy crashed out pretty good with his tablet and shattered the face of it. So The rolling paper.
I'm glad you call those rolling papers, because sometimes I call them map books, not road books. So like map books is like you're not allowed to carry that, and then rolling papers. You being from Hawaii, I think you're kind of familiar with them. The pakaloa, is that what they call it over there? Those guys. So it's not that. It's a scroll.
A scroll, yeah.
Yeah, it's a road book roll is what we call it. So it's a long strip of printed paper with the road book on it.
And the very first load in was a little stressful, but once you do it once or twice, you get used to it. We had to cut it in half.
It's totally normal.
Yeah.
Man, I've never because you're a pretty cool cat. You're super mellow about most everything. I had not seen you go to that stress level, and it was of just this. I think it was everything, but you were so worried about rolling that thing in there. But you did one here, didn't you?
Yeah, but that was like you get handed the roadmap at the beginning in the morning, and so he's giving the briefing, and you're trying to load in the roadmap and get on your minute to start.
You got 20 minutes to do something. It takes 5.
Well, your first time takes 20 minutes, especially the first road book was huge. Remember?
Yeah, it was the fattest.
Mike
road
Shirley
book
had
in
to
Raleigh.
help cut it down, and we had to do 2. So when I got to a certain point, I had to reload it. But once you do it, Jimmy was right. Once you do it a couple times, it gets easier and easier, and then it was way easier to read. There was no sun glare problems.
Yeah,
and
so
the scrolling was good too.
Yeah, you going forward and back. Yeah, the paper's the proven method forever. So I prefer the tablet just because it loads up easy. I run a Tower 1, which is not inexpensive, but it's super high quality. It has all of the stuff built into it, whether I load the waypoints into the thing. So in order for you to do with a paper road book, in order for you to do a rally event, you will either have to use their system, or if you're doing like some of the smaller ones, you need some sort of a digital tablet with a GPS chip in it, which you now have. You have an iPad.
Yes.
And you're going to have screen glare on that.
That's why I bought that protector.
Yeah. Don't worry, you're going to get screen glare.
Yeah.
It's just the way that's just the way it is. It's a screen. But I found that I can pretty much, no matter what, kind of just move my head a little bit if it's glaring. The worst thing is when you're just going down a long straight road and it's getting you. It's not that you can't see it. It's flashing back at you. Like you ever been driving when you're in your car and they have a shiny piece of chrome and the sun hits it, or you're
That's right. Yeah.
or you ever had? I don't know. You ever had this happen? Like when your chick is over there on her phone and it beams right across and nails you in the eye.
Sean has never done that to me.
Never done?
No.
Yeah. My wife's never done that to me either. Put that phone down. She thinks I'm like, no, it's blinding me. You're like shooting a laser beam in my eye. But anyway.
So that's interesting. You would say go with the tablet.
I would say go with the tablet.
Right.
I mean, it depends on the event, because I think some of the events are going away from paper.
Right.
But the paper, I mean, there's still lots of those units out there, and so I think they'll have to keep it for a while. I don't know. I'm not doing anything with Nora anymore. I have stopped. So whatever, I don't know what they're going to do, what their process is going to be. So and then so he's building a rally tower, and hopefully for Nora next year. I hope there is Nora for you next year. I'm pretty sure the bikes will be back for they're really pushing to try to get entries for the 500 this year. I don't know how it's going, but what would you do differently for the race? I did something different. I'm not there anymore.
Well, yeah, that was a safety issue. Yeah. What would I do differently? Nothing. I mean, I finished, and I mean, the only thing I would do differently is if I lived in the mainland and had an opportunity to ride and roadbook practice, I would. But I don't. So I kind of came into this thing pretty green and last minute.
Yeah, and we did a for Nora competitors, we did a rally training.
Yeah, which was good.
That was just something that they wanted to do, that the Mexican side of that organization really wanted to make sure that everybody was able to do the race. So you did a really basic rally training.
Yeah.
Which is enough for the style of navigation that we did in that. And I'm trying to think of what you should have done differently for the race. I don't think, because you didn't tip over, no crashes.
No.
So you rode within your means, which is the biggest thing. You had a goal of making the finish line.
Yeah.
that was the primary thing. And then, go fast when you can and be safe when you need to.
So I'm not used to riding fast. And that was my main priority was
what about those other
not
3
get
gears?
hurt, finish and ride within my means.
Yeah.
And not care about what finish, not care about racing or placing or anything like that.
What about those other 3 gears in the transmission?
Yeah, I didn't even know about those.
If anybody's ridden in Hawaii, you just need first and second.
Yeah, occasionally third on the Pineapple Road to get home. But when he told me I had 6 gears, I was like, what?
Yeah.
6?
Yeah, you get it. So, I think you asked, do I really need a 500? I'm like, doesn't hurt.
No, the 500 was like the perfect bike for that race. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, anyways, if you wonder what that little thing scrolling up in the corner of the screen, that's me constantly casing jumps. That was how I tested the suspension on the Honda. And Trevor thinks it's funny, so I put it on the show. That's how we do this. Crazy Mark from Fraser Park. Knock, knock. Yeah. Good to see you. And SFB, we were just talking about. He is my second contact list. Yeah. So he works construction. He's always out working and stuff like that. But he's got his phone with him, and he'll check in every once in a while just to see what's up. He's familiar with a lot of the places that I ride, so he knows where things are. He's been around, and so if they can't get to Heather, really, if we can't contact Heather, Bob's kind of my second contact on that list, and he would know maybe who to contact or what area, and it's just kind of having a network, and when you don't know a whole lot of people, it's not that easy, but you just you build this up over time. You'll run into people riding.
We're not really using stuff like this at home because we don't. All our riding is within cell service. We're not
right.
So this is a different animal.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly. And then you're really far away from, you can get really far away. Like
real quick.
You can walk out of most of the place you're at. And in fact, that'd probably be faster a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, William Yonke S7R says, Jimmy, thanks for the ADV training at Tamarack. This old guy still has areas to improve. Hope to see you next you. Yeah. Next you. I am trying to transition into being a better person and podcast host. That's my what month is it? August? That's my August resolution. August 11th resolution.
We're all working on being better people.
So that's all the questions in the chat. I think we're all caught up, but I wanted to get back to Seth Waterfall, who Seth Roosterendo. Remember this? So this is Seth's bike, but Seth, since you tuned out when the sound didn't work, and I absolutely don't blame you at all. We got another entry that looks like that, and so we're having a tough time deciding because you might not notice it, but that's a Yamaha there, and then yours is a Beta. Although what mountain is that, Seth? Because we had to drink a beer. We had to drink a Rainier to figure out what mountain that was. So, I would have hung up on this damn show too. And Bob says he's ready to rescue. That's good.
That's a good friend.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I said, Bob's always with his family, and he's always he's rarely out doing that. I can't beat that. Wait, Seth, you just agreed that the guy in the Yamaha who's not in the chat has a better bike than you? I don't know about I don't know about that. We'll see. It's still up for debate. So you can rally some support in the chat room right now, but you just didn't do yourself any favors. So, hey, Mike, we have another question here. This is this John Bennett? Yeah, John Bennett has 2 questions for us tonight, but here's the first. Can you read that?
Yeah. Hi, Jimmy. I've bought a few different boot brands lately that have led me loving my older Tech 8s more and more. The booty/ankle support and long-lasting stitched soles are awesome. Really love these over Tech 10s with the short wearing soles. But the stitched in-style sole is about to wear through and the rest of the boot is nearing the end of its life. Sad. Do you have any boot recommendations that are comparable to the sole life and ankle padding support of the Tech 8's 2017 model? They don't make anymore.
So, John, good question. I will just say that I have been seedy guy for a long time, and I fully understand the difference between like kind of the seedy and the Alpine Star and the Garnet from wearing a lot of them. I don't have a whole lot of Garnet experience lately, and I know exactly what you're talking about with the Tech 10s and the Tech 8s. I was a big Tech 8 guy as well. I preferred them over the Tech 10s. I had some vented Tech 8s, and my original Tech 8s had a booty in them too. And so the booties are actually like a slipper inside there. They're nice. The ankle support is different. It doesn't have a hinge system. It's kind of like more like a traditional boot. And I think what he's talking about is the soles is it's a stitched on sole, where now Alpine Stars, like a lot of the manufacturers, have gone to this formed, this kind of a molded formed sole.
Yeah.
And yes, they don't last as long, but also bikes' foot pegs have been getting more and more aggressive. So they're chewing on the soles a little bit. So is there, I saw the Tech Alpine Stars had a booth at the Yamaha Tenere Trek, and I actually am wearing Tech 10s right now because just a couple different things, and we're doing some photo modeling stuff. And so I was wearing a new pair of Tech 10s, and I actually kind of had to adjust where my ankle sits in that particular boot. I had to kind of put an insole in there and raise, because I wasn't happy with the kind of the feel and the fit. So there's a lot of customization you can do. A lot of people that like the Tech 8s have gone back to Tech 7s, which is like a lower line boot, but maybe not as kind of protective. But I wouldn't rule out looking at a pair of Garnets. I think they still have a stitched on sole. I'd have to do some research. And yep, that's Mount Rainier.
Nice. I've been wearing Garnets for the last couple of years. I really like them.
And yours is a stitched sole, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their trials boot, and their trials boot's the most comfortable shoe I've ever worn.
Yeah. I have a few, one of my coaches here, that's all he used to wear was the Garnet Trials boot.
Yeah.
So I would give a look at a couple of different things. If you have like a place that you can go to, like a Chaparral or one of the bigger stores, Cycle Gear sometimes has a few different options. You can go there and see them all and see which one fits. I mean, fit's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
But don't be one of those guys. If you go to a shop, don't be one of those guys that goes to the shop and then rolls out and then goes and buys it online. Support the shop that took the time to stock that, because I think that's a little bit of that's going away. Just a personal PSA from Jimmy here that's trying to keep some of the good shops in business.
Nice.
I don't have an exact answer, because all of this, CDs, I don't know if they have any more stitched on soles. Because they had the SRS sole, which is the sole replacement system, which kind of tried to alleviate that problem. So you literally screw a sole on with these quick disconnect things. I just wish they would sell them individually, because I wear out my shifting side out 3-to-1 over the brake side, because I'm always lifting my foot up to brake, and so all my weight's on my shift side foot. I'm always hovering over the brake pedal, so a lot of my weight goes onto my other foot. So question number 2 from John. We're going to start right there.
You want me to take that? Or?
Yeah, you're the question guy.
No, I recently.
Sorry. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. I recently spent 5 days volunteering at a Colorado enduro race. As always, much more enjoyable than racing. 100+ miles a day, and you get to make fun. You get to make fun of all your friends. Anyways, I was riding my good old Baja bike, the first generation 450X. Super comfortable and predictable, like grandma's old stinky couch. I've been thinking more and more about balancing and simply dancing with the bike. My question is, when cornering in loose rocks, 3 to 8 inch diameter, with little dirt patches in between them, committed to the turn with weight on the front and on the gas a bit, yes, you need to thread the needle, but sometimes the rocks just send you for a ride. Please explain how you handle hitting a rock in a turn and then hitting another and another, so you are essentially getting ridden by the bike in the terrain. I've had a few people ask me how I ride that scenario without eating poop. They don't realize how many times a Scott's dampener will save your life. paired with momentum, smooth throttle, and good balance. Ha. Have fun on Tech Talk Taco Tuesday.
Okay, John, that's a long question. I'm gonna do my best at answering this. So this is gonna be really interesting. So here's what happens. There's you know how you have the voices in your head, like not those kind of voices, but the voices in your head. So you have the voice in your head, and it's like, okay, I'm going around the rocky turn, and one of them says, "Jimmy, slow down.
Just gas it.
Slow down.
Just gas it. Get over the back and gas it.
And it's like, Jimmy, slow down.
Twist the fucking throttle."
So that's what happens inside of my head. No. So flick that cat. Selma, you're not on the show. You're a little attention whore. That's my cat. So it doesn't matter what bike you're on. Doesn't matter which tires you have. Doesn't matter you have a steering stabilizer. Doesn't matter anything. The question I always ask when I get asked these questions is, if you slowed down a whole lot, would this be a problem? So think about that. So he's asked this really technical thing about riding into a kind of a boulder field of rocks, and 3-inch diameters. And what would you do? Well, I say the first thing you do is slow down. That's the number one thing. Slow down so you can ride through it comfortably. You don't have any of these problems. Then now let's work on the technique, because if you're going in there and you do anything like tense up or, try to manipulate your body position to an out of balance body position, you're not doing it right. And so, I will tell you, you do not want to hit a rock in a turn. Just that's a recipe for a bad thing. But a lot of times there's a lot of rocks and you can't avoid it. So then it's like, well, what should I? Don't turn on the rocks. Especially at speed. Do not try to turn on the rocks. So that means, again, slow down. So I try to turn it into a short series of, like, we'll call it straightaways. And if that means I have to come in completely straight, slow down, 90-degree turn the bike or whatever it is, make the turn, find the corner, the literally corner. I go to the corner, turn, and go straight out. So I don't want to be doing a lot of turning, and especially at any sort of speed, because it's unpredictable. And so how do you handle it? So I'm trying to minimize the time that I'm doing the turning and using more straight line, because you really only accelerate kind of in straight lines in my very idealized way of teaching riding technique. But that's it. If it happens that I hit a rock in the turn, hopefully I'm balanced and I'm loose so that I can allow the bike to because the bike's going to kick or deflect or do something. If I'm hanging on tight or stiff on the bike, I'm going with it. I want to be loose and let it kick. And then when the timing is right, basically when I get my traction again, then I'm going to do what I need to do to correct it. I'm not part of the problem. I'm part of the solution. That's a lot of shit. By the way, if you in the chat have a solution to this, let me know. But I like the first one. First, slow down. Listen to the my voice, not
"You're a pussy, Jimmy. Just gas it."
Don't listen to that guy. That guy's bad for you. He'll read a poem out of Jerry's book later on tonight if you let him. Okay. We do have fun on Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. This is the show where we talk about motorcycle-related products, brought to you by Yamaha. Yamaha likes what you're doing. You want to play with some of those toys out there, don't you, Mike?
I really like this.
Balsa wood.
Yeah, the balsa wood.
Bulletproof design, breakable.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they sent that to me.
Is that like off a CNC machine, but it's balsa wood? Like
it's actually, it says what kind of wood it's on there someplace. It's there's a lot of information on that. They laser etched it and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So the guys at Baja Designs are Bulletproof Designs.
It says can be used as firewood.
Yeah,
that would be a real shame.
Because that's a.
But if you were lost in 911 and you had this,
out in the desert, there's not a lot of firewood.
Could you put this on a bike?
No, that's a piece of art, I guess. I don't know.
But
if it was made out of billet aluminum, I sure as hell wouldn't put it on a bike. And they make really nice ones, front disc protectors. But I complain about stuff like that. Like I I went on a tirade about bullet. That's why they made it for me.
Right.
Because I said there's something about them that affect the handling. We have a question about this later.
About
Not that, but an aluminum skid plate.
Right.
I said that, and I don't know whether it was the way it mounted on the bike or I could feel the weight. I thought I noticed it. I have a couple of them on my shelves that I tried them and I took them off, and people and so I made a lot of fun. Like people would send their bike to Rooster Endo and they would try to take the picture so I couldn't see it because they think I'd judge them because they have it on there. I'm like, it's just bad for me. So they judged me and they sent me that balsa wood one to fix my problem because they don't like not having solutions. So, that's the answer. Well, I thought you were going to hold up the Tugger strap. Tugger will be a big sponsor on this show real soon.
Those are big in Hawaii.
These are great.
Yeah.
These guys are super cool.
Yeah.
They actually, they came and took my class. They used to support us at Dirt Rider Magazine back when I was back there. I have them on a lot of my bikes.
Bulletproof's a big sponsor of the Hawaii guys riding the hard enduro.
Yeah. That's costing him a lot of money.
Yeah.
Those guys can wreck some bikes.
Yeah.
They're lucky they're sponsored by Bulletproof because he's protecting a lot of stuff that they could potentially break. Yeah. And those guys are gnarly.
They're doing good.
Yeah, really good.
In the hard enduro, yeah.
It does not surprise me knowing what you guys ride all the time, but I think our stuff isn't slippery enough here.
No.
Yeah, you guys got slippery down. But anyways, Tugger, thetugger.com if you want to know about Tugger straps, toe straps. This is a toe strap. The reason I have it is because there's unconditional guarantee on these things, and we managed to break one because a friend of mine wasn't very good at tugging. In fact, he was so bad at tugging, I was tugging the guy out, and they said, no, he's my buddy. I brought him. I'll tug him. So he hooked the toe strap up, and we were riding, and we got out to the road. I took him out of the trail, and we got him onto the road. My buddy Jimmy, this other Jimmy, he's been a host on the show before. I mean, we don't want to rat him out or anything, Jimmy Tyler. But so the other Jimmy hooked up to his buddy Link, and he's dragging him down the road, and we're kind of going, and we went about 3 or 4 miles, so I stopped to check on him, and Jimmy pulls up. And I go, where's Link? He looks,
He's still towing him.
no, he wasn't there. He's gone. He was gone. But they somehow had.
How did he not know?
This is a good question. It was kind of a little bit downhill, but not that much, not enough to not know. I mean, there's some tension and there's some snaps and stuff like that. So,
my God. The guy on the back is supposed to be the brakes.
He went back and got him, but whatever happened, like with the strap, because we were going foot peg to foot peg. We were doing foot peg to foot peg lower.
Oh, wow.
And I think somehow when it came apart, when the strap, because he had no strap at all.
Right.
And I think when it went back in Link's bike, it tangled up in some stuff and broke.
Foot peg, that's wild.
They actually, it was unconditional guarantee. They would have sent it out, but I just went and bought 2 more. Right. And then I'm like, hey, these guys should be a sponsor of the show. So there we go. I like sponsors. I call them partners because I do like all of our sponsors. They're all floating on the screen in the back. If you're watching this on the tubes, Fast Company, Bulletproof Designs, Yamaha, double take mirrors. Here's an old double take mirror. This is a relic now. They have a new design, which is really cool. So double take mirrors. What else? You're all getting your invoices like in next month or year. I'll send it out one of these days. I gotta get the billing department. They work as good as the sound engineer on the show.
It sounds like it's a good program.
Here we go. Ray Groom says ha ha, and Ray Groom also says Tech 7s for the win. After 8 years with CD, I was going through the soft replacement soles and not be able to find the soles. You and me both for a while. So CD has changed distributors. I think they're a little more settled right now. But yeah.
Roger wants to know Cafe Haleiwa, Rooster Endo. Definitely a roost. If you're hungry and looking for a good breakfast in Haleiwa, Cafe Haleiwa is the place to go.
Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, where you find the North Shore Eats information here. We can answer 9 out of 10 questions without referring to a reference manual. And I'm not
breakfast in a barrel, Roger. Breakfast in a barrel. That's what it's called.
And I'm not an expert at anything. Really. Okay. More questions coming up on Tech Talk Taco Tuesday.
I think I got one more question.
Oh, you got a question?
No, not me. I'll read one more question. We've been in Vegas for 2 days. We're like ready to go to sleep.
On a big bender is what they say.
Yeah, I guess for us it was.
Okay. No worries.
Okay, so
I'm going to shut this stupid show down.
Okay,
The minute
so
you walk out of here, I'm done. I'm doing this for you, Mike, because I want to answer your question. I thought
you did.
I thought you had more questions.
No, the main thing was about this. Well, I
Okay.
mean, I got a million questions about how to work Rally Navigator and the iPad and tracking and stuff.
Rally Navigator is also somehow a sponsor of this show.
Yeah.
There's a Rally Navigator shirt someplace, and there's stickers all over the place. And
Yeah.
Mike Shirley has been on the show. Yeah.
But I mean, it would be too much for the show, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do a Rally Navigator show. No, I've done a couple other guys rally podcasts. They
Right.
talk about different things, and yeah, if you have questions about that, I can answer them a little bit.
I mean, because that sounds like a real fun mainland riding thing to do.
Before you leave, I've got to draw on your map. I want to draw some lines on your map.
Okay.
Yeah. So make sure I do that. So,
Okay.
not tonight, but tomorrow.
morning, yeah.
So all good. Okay. Last question that Mike's going to read.
Okay, I have a 2025 Husky TX 300. Nice bike, yeah. She has 100 hours on her and had the brakes fade on me at 2 specific races and only at these 2. They were 12-plus mile courses, 2-hour scrambles. I'd completely lose the rear pedal a few miles in, and then it would come back a few miles later. Would happen a few more times throughout the race. I haven't changed the pedal height since I bought it, and it's had the proper amount of free play, and I've kept KTM OEM pads in it. After the first race, I lost the brakes. I noticed the brake bleeder was broke off. I put on a new bleeder and flushed out the old fluids and put in fresh Bel-Ray .4 fluid. Raced a couple GPs and ran a NETRA hair scrambles
Nitra
with no issues. Then back to that series, I lost the brakes and lost them again in the same fashion. After reaching out to the Facebook experts, I flushed out the fluids again.
And by Facebook experts, these means that people that don't ride, that spend way too much typing on the computer, and their information is suspect at best, although they do proclaim to be experts. They'll tell you. Like, I'm a Facebook expert too. We're on Facebook right now, Mike, live on the expert show.
And I'm not an expert in anything. I flushed the fluids out again and replaced it with Multool 5.1 fluid installed a fresh KTM Power Parts rotor pad, fresh KTM Power Parts rotor pads, and a master cap extender. I ran a local MX track this past Sunday with no issues. I'll be racing the notorious series I lost the brakes at the end of the month. Was I boiling the brakes? Someone suggested that maybe the line is collapsing. I've never had a rear brake issue on any bike I've owned other than one time learning how on a 2012 KTM 300 has to have proper play when adjusting the pedal. Laughing out loud, cooked the brakes at Unadilla GNCC in 2012. Just perplexed to me to be that specific and sporadic. Hoping my current updates have cured whatever it was.
Okay, so
finally the question appeared.
That's
okay.
So
Okay.
this question was sent to me via a friend through a friend. So this is Motofro. He's a fellow Fuck You club member. Big tall dude from back east, rides the Nitra hair scrums, which, by the way, Nitra is the home of Fuck You. It's the they're back in New York and Massachusetts, and these guys are hardcore hair scrambles guys. But super cool guy. And so I'm going to I sent him an email response because for the club members, man, I go out of my way. It's just the way I'm that kind of guy. But anyways, I said I would like to tell you that you would have found the answer very deep in one of Jerry Bernardo's books, but you already knew that because I could read a poem. I still could. Maybe when you leave, I'll read the poem because I don't want you guys to have nightmares. But this is maybe where the answer lurks because this is kind of confusing. So. I told him, I said, flushing the brake fluid is always a very good first step. And the fact that the brake bleeder was broken off. I don't know to what level, broken off to where it just spit out or broken off just where the tip was broken off. You just never know. So I was like, just straight away, if you have a brake problem, the first thing to do is go to flushing and bleeding the brakes. And a lot of people will back flush and do all this crazy stuff. I just fill it up in the reservoir, whether it's the front or the rear, and then sometimes on the front, I'll just let it gravity bleed. I'll just make sure that top one is full and slowly crack the bleeder, and that gravity will just push it out. And as long as you don't let air go in the top, it's, if you have air in the line, it'll stay in the line, but it'll go through and you can kind of see the color of the fluid or whatever it is. I don't even have to do that thing, the thing where you have to pump it up and release, and you can do that, but I'll just put a bunch of fresh fluid in that way. Front and sometimes rear. The rear is a little more difficult because the angles and it doesn't have the fall, but you can do it. So number one, flush, change the fluid, get it all out of there, start with some new stuff, see how that works. So then make sure you have no air in it. And so with this, you get all the fluid and stuff there, and then I'll do a series of, pump it up and then back bleed it. So pump it up, let it sit, and then compress the caliper, whether front or rear, and that'll blow all the fluid that's in the caliper back through the system. And if there's any air in the line, generally it forces back up into the reservoir, and it goes away, then slowly pump it back up. So we call it back bleeding is what I will do.
That's with the reservoir cap open?
No. Cap shut. So it's just like if you overheat your brakes, and I'll get to this in a minute. If you overheat your brakes, the first thing I do is I go and push, usually the rear. I'll just go and step on the rear caliper, push it in towards the disc, and compress it, and it squeezes all the fluid out of the caliper back through the line, and then some of that hot fluid goes out. Then I pump it up, and I'll do it 1 or 2 times and pump it back and forth, and then it'll cool. You're going to cool that fluid down, which is the cause of the problem. There might be air bubbles and stuff there. It'll also chase a lot of the air out.
Right.
But if it's super, super hot, it's going to go back down in there and boil anyways. So it's just back bleeding is what we call that. I've done some videos on it. It's on Dirt Bike Test. By the way, believe it or not, we have a website called Dirt Bike Test, dirtbiketest.com. Go there and check out some of the stuff. So again, he talks about the brake pedal height, and a lot of people will misadjust the brake pedal height to where it's not actually dragging the brake, but it's not opening up the hole in the reservoir to allow it to back bleed, to go down. So the piston is past the hole where it seals off the reservoir. So it's just it's the piston pushing that fluid in the line.
Would that be having the pedal too high or too low?
Generally, when they do that, well, it's either. It just depends on how it's adjusted, and each bike is a little bit different on the adjustment. But most of the time, it's when they lower the brake pedal, they lower it, and they actually push the piston up higher in the reservoir. They're not just lowering. They don't make the corresponding adjustment to keep that the reservoir activation in the right spot.
Right.
So there is that. This is the point where Jerry says I should just shut up and quit being so detailed on the things. But this is why hopefully you listen to this show. So you can just skip forward because I'm going to talk about this for the next 3 minutes. You want to get out of here, Mike?
If we're going to head out.
Yeah. You know how to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Do you know how to back bleed brakes now? Yeah. So yeah.
Hey, thanks for letting me steal your Rainier.
Yeah, the Rainier. Yeah,
great beers. And he came on and said it was Rainier.
Yeah, it was Rainier. Yeah. So good on you, Mike. Thanks for joining in.
See you guys.
It was a lot less painful than the last one where we had to watch him change that tire in the background.
I loved watching this.
Yeah.
I watched that whole episode.
The whole time I was like going, are you a lifeguard or a plumber?
Did you break the bead?
Yeah. You didn't. The tire made it all the way through the peninsula. Yeah. One tire in the north. So awesome, guys. We'll see you in the morning. Make a bunch of noise. Yeah. So awesome. Okay. So we're still talking about the brakes. So make sure that when you adjust that, you don't close off that hole because you're closing off the system. It will heat up, the fluid will expand, and then it can't escape back into the reservoir, and it will compress the pads, and then it will smoke the brakes. This was, of course, I told him this. He understood it. That was a thing. So, and a lot of times when you're sitting down when you're a taller guy and you sit down, sometimes your feet end up touching. I've seen guys just get new brakes, and all of a sudden they no, they get new boots. I'm sorry, they get new boots, and all of a sudden they smoke their brakes because they're just not into that. So Francois says, "This is the best show. Are you sure you're on this channel, or just click over to it and get there?" So, and I said, "I've never heard of the brake line collapsing, so I don't know what that is." I have had something wrap up in my wheel and compress and collapse a brake line, smash it shut or rip it, both bad things. The smash shut one, it didn't allow the kind of free flowing of the line because it was really super pinched. It was kinked actually, and the brakes would still work, but they would drag. So I thought a little bit that, but you would notice that. That's usually something that physically you're going to see. And then I talked to him about having the bleeder broken off. Maybe that allowed some contamination, and then that contamination could get inside the line someplace and maybe inhibiting the flow. So imagine a piece of debris that gets somehow in there, and when you press it, there's a lot of pressure, but when you release, there's not that much pressure, and maybe that could be blocking the exit of the caliper, so where it has to go into a smaller hole, this debris goes up there and plugs it up, so you can pump it up, but it can't release as quickly as it needs to. This was another thing, and I thought, when we're getting technical. So, so I told him, because I'm doing this over the emails, not in person. I told him, I said, "Hey, if this happens again, to help me diagnose, if it does it, do the back bleeding." So do the back bleeding of the thing, and if it's hard to back bleed, like you push on that caliper and it won't squirt it out, that means that there is some sort of an obstruction. There's a reason why it can't go back. And San Felipe Bob telling me that collapsing of brake hose is common on cars. Is that because there's a vacuum inside of there, Bob? I'm not sure. I don't, because we have, vacuum. You hear about the vacuum pumps on brakes, and I'm just a motorcycle guy. Don't know about cars that much. So if it happens, then take your foot and compress the caliper and see if it compresses all the fluid out easily, and that would tell you if there's an obstruction. Then pump it right back up. And the thing is, if it happens, you should have brakes again, because the cooler fluid will go in and it will replace the stuff that is boiling. So good news, everybody, by the way. Good news. He fixed his brakes. He did his 12-mile hill scrambles. Podium, by the way. So that means he got a blowjob. That's what I heard, because if you're in our club, you know what the podium means, boys. So I told him I wanted solutions. He got back to me, showed me a picture of a nice meaty hamburger that he got after his race. His sweet husky that I'm gonna show the sweet husky on the show right now. Where is his bike? I wish I actually had a picture of MotoFro, because he's an interesting character. Let's see if I've got it here. I'm gonna try to drag it onto the show. I'm actually here we go. Here's. Well, no, I don't want to do that, because that'll wreck the whole show. Let me see if I can get back here. If you're watching this, I'm surprised he didn't enter this in Rooster Endo, because this photo is horrible, like most of the ones we get. But look at that lush greenery. Look at that tall seat, by the way. That guy is no small guy. So this is the bike that was lighting the brakes on fire. Okay, there's probably a good sticker on that bike too, if you know what I mean. Okay. What else do we have in the show? Old rubber hose deteriorates. So the brake line losing its structure, I guess, is what's happening on cars. And if that hose is deteriorating, I would be more worried about it exploding than collapsing or whatever, but not necessarily a bike problem that I'm aware of. So are there more tacos left over there?
Yeah, you want them?
I'll eat them all. Okay. Don't worry. Just leave them out.
I put them on the stove.
Okay, yeah. Leave everything out. And Pyropunk says, just joining in, had some tacos. How was the world raid? Well, Pyropunk, I hate to tell you, but I cannot tell you about how it was. Like, I can't, because I'm under embargo until on Thursday at 9 a.m. You will have a video or some information on that particular bike.
Jimmy, just tell him how it is.
No, I can't.
I want to read a poem.
No, you can't. So, oh yeah, don't forget that. Don't leave stuff all over. Hey, breaking the set.
Breaking the set.
Okay, Cody Rash tells me I had a brake line clog in my Husky with the same symptoms. Replaced the line and a master cylinder rebuild, and the problem was gone. He's a good friend. Don't judge.
I'm not gonna judge.
Yeah, embargoed. That's what they call it.
I like shit like that.
Oh yeah, no. There's some. It's interesting. It makes you. Jerry's books, like, it comes from a dark place, but it makes you think, and it's really cool. And now here we go. STR Motard 89 says I could have cleared that jump on my KTM 500 XCFW, the one that we're showing up in the corner. That's just. It might be humiliating me, I guess. I don't know, but look at it. Look at this. Look at that launch. Look at that smash right there. I did jump it, but see, I got on the gas afterwards too. That impact did nothing. That belly is like a counterweight, and it bounced right back up. You watch it. It goes down. It brings me right back up, and then I'm able to get on the gas and roost again. So you, STR Moto, let me see a video. You have a podcast and have a video of you roosting like this, and we'll talk later. So, okay. If you want to see more of that, I'll put it back on later. Yeah, you could have cleared that. You can clear that on anything. It's got a really good run up and all the other stuff. It's actually probably on that track at Millville. It's the worst landing on the track because it is kind of steep and downhill. But yeah. So yeah, that's Jerry. That's Jerry, not Jeremy.
Yeah.
It's Jerry. He's a different guy. Yeah, you can follow him on Instagram at JB Black. Yeah. And then you can follow the club. You can forward over all these things. Barely a whiplash. Yeah, maybe. My cat's gonna unplug some cords in this studio right now.
That's the coolest cat.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. She's a killer. That cat's gnarly.
I like how she chews on me.
Yeah, she likes you. Yeah. We're talking about my cat right now because there's no questions in the. How was the Tenere check in general? The Tenere check in general was an awesome event. It was Yamaha's first kind of adventure event. They did a really good job. Man, the food was incredible. Other than the smoke in the area, which wasn't horrible. It didn't smell smoky that much, but there was a lot of kind of smoke from all the fires that were going on in Washington, and had a super good time. Good routes, good rides, lots. They had like 150 riders there. You got to ride with Damon Bradshaw.
Good night.
So you got to go riding with Damon Bradshaw and a few other people from Yamaha. It was good. I got to do training. I was had a good time. Super stoked to get back and teach people a couple things about motorcycles, dirt bike riding, and we had a lot of happy customers in the class. So that was kind of cool. And it was all and Yamaha. You bought the thing, you got to do all the stuff, so Yamaha covered all the costs for us to come out there, Heather and I, to do training. But yeah, Tenere track, and it was really cool because regular customers could come. Actually, you could ride the World Raid. So if you were at the event, you got a chance to ride the new World Raid. And so I'm surprised that they didn't post stuff and beat us to the punch because they didn't have to sign the embargo forms, if you know what I mean. So you can probably get some reviews, and the bike's been released in Europe for a little while, so there's some reviews there. But I'm sure everybody's just really, because Heather is helping me do that review. So you'll see that on Thursday. And I'm going to update my Tenere vlog because I had my personal Tenere up there. We put a lot of miles on that thing. My whole rig was up in the cooler. Well, it was supposed to be cooler, but it wasn't. They were going through a heat spell. And so we went out riding. We spent the week before out touring around and enjoying adventure life, like I like to say. So good times. What's next on the agenda? Any more questions? Let me know. I have a couple more things on my Jimmy. I have listened to numerous podcast volleys between you and Johnny Campbell that head towards the use of plastic versus metal skid plates. I moved to the Enduro Engineering skid plate off of my 2025 Beta 300RR race. I have switched back to the stock plastic skid plate. Besides the weight, is the net benefit for non-Honda bikes to allow frame flex? I removed the steel aluminum plates on the motocross bikes, and he had a 24 Cove, 250. He had a Yamaha YZ 250 two-stroke, and then a 1994 RM 250 two-stroke. So he had steel skid plates. Anyways, I notice, might be a mental moment, the most profound difference at the Paula Vet MX track and the fast Kuya Vet track and fast flowing off-road tracks. Should I expect a noticeable difference in Rocky Technical single track as well with the Beta? Is this like getting a fresh ride? It is very similar to suspension clicker changes. Is it? He's asking questions, just didn't put the question mark on the back of it. I really appreciate the technical talk and rider racer conversation volleys. Thanks, Lewis. Well, thanks, Lewis. Yeah, I'm going to get to your thing. I really hate when we can't make the sound work at the beginning of the show, and sometimes it takes a little while to get rolling, but I do like answering these types of questions. And the one thing I will tell you is that this feeling that I'm talking about when I talk about aluminum skid plate versus plastic versus no skid plate versus other things, I have a pretty sensitive feel for the bike. And if you don't have a sensitive feel for the bike, you may just think I'm full of it. Like when I complain about having a front disc protector, there's a lot of stuff going on there, and how it affects different riders is different. Some riders don't feel it, but I'll tell you, it does make a difference, more so on certain bikes. And Kenny, EIEIO, is a mechanical engineer. Well, that's better than me. I just play one on this show. I can't speak to the frame flex, but UHMW plastic is one of the most durable materials there is. Well, if you're an engineer, you can talk about flex. There's probably some formulas you could write up. We'll get you a whiteboard. You could do some numbers and stuff. I've seen, you get in your SolidWorks and start flexing some stuff and, show the heat zone. I don't know. And I've seen it on the TV shows. Yeah. The plastic is tough. There's some of the plastic plates are pretty tough. There's some now that are really, really thick. It's crazy how thick some of them are getting, because these extreme enduro guys are gnarly, and some of the plastic ones slide a lot better over when they're really sticking them into things, and they provide extra protection. So there's lots of different levels, and I've seen some plastic ones that have mounting on them that is pretty robust, and it also affects the frame flex. I'm sure it does, but it's really bike specific. It's there's ones that are like, they're not even really skid plates. They're more like case protectors, so they're more like on the motocross side of things. And I've ridden some bikes that, couldn't figure out. We're struggling with a front end feel, a handling issue, took the skid plate off and it went away. So, to your thing, if it's really, like you said, you could feel it on your other bikes on those vet motocross tracks. And believe it or not, the vet motocross tracks, those kind of smoother flowing tracks that have the turns with the kind of the chop, they never really build ruts. They build kind of more turns with chop. And there's usually two lines, like one to the inside, one to the outside, that get kind of really choppy on the exit. Sometimes choppy going in. Those are where you really feel it's kind of the chop is where you tend to, it's more noticeable how the skid plate kind of affects the feel. And most of the time you sort of feel it kind of in the handlebars and just how the front tire feels tracking on the ground, in my experience. And it's the same thing when you hear people talking about different engine mounts, engine hangers, different torques on those bolts, swing arm bolts. These all have an effect. And a lot of times if you're changing the torques on your bolt and nothing's working, check to see if it's your skid plate that's tying up your frame. A lot of times they design these bikes without the skid plates that you guys are putting on them, and then you wonder why it makes it difficult to make them work, and you're not going to fix it through suspension. Man with a gun says, Jimmy, do you use speed bleeders on your forks? Your forks. I'm sorry. Let me get it. Do you use speed bleeders your forks? So yeah, for my folks, I on a lot of my bikes that don't have like adjustable preload or different things that would prevent from spinning up there, or I have the handlebar clearance because I'm running some weird crap up on the front, I use speed bleeders. It's just an extra level of very easy tuning that I can do. So tuners seem to hate them, but I've never had an issue running STR and Motion Pro bleeders. Some seems better than dropping and losing the bleed screw in the dirt. It's yes, absolutely. Or trying to figure out how to get a screwdriver down in there, or, the Torx bit on the KTMs, whatever it is, do I have that tool? Is it easy to do? But I'm going to tell you a little trick, man with a gun, is I use the speed bleeder sometimes to run negative pressure in my forks. So, on some of my bikes that have big gas tanks, and something I might be riding along on a ride and we start with a big full gas tank and there's actually air pressure in the forks. It doesn't bother me, but later on it gets to the point where, I lost a lot of gas. Front end's feeling a little harsh, bleed the air off. And then you get down to where there's hardly any gas and maybe you're riding some more technical stuff, and I can sit on the bike instead of completely unweighted. I can sit on the bike and take a little bit of, which you could do that with not speed bleeders, but it takes a little bit of time. And it's like you ride it after you threw a little negative pressure inside there. That doesn't work. Well, then just unweight it and a couple little, like that. Yeah. So yeah, that's what we do. But yeah, I like those. I have not had any problems with them. I think, why do tuners seem to hate them? I'll tell you why tuners hate them. Because you ship your forks to the tuner in the box and it has a speed bleeder on it, and then the forks slide in the box and the bleeder opens up and all the oil goes out, and then they have a big mess and maybe a hazmat. And if it's in California, then they probably have to shut down the shop, the street the forks came in on, and they have to quarantine the UPS van as welcome to California. But yeah, you're welcome, man with a gun. We answer 9 out of 10 questions without referring to a reference manual. And I'd like to thank my sponsor for tonight, which is this energy drink Focus that says it's not an energy drink. I just was making a joke because I couldn't focus this afternoon and I had Focus, and then I started the show and we ran for 15 minutes without the sound on. So good on me. We're all about quality here. So if you have any questions, that's why, have the quality going on. A couple things. I'll show this. Check this out. Fan club member sent this to me. It matches my hat. That's why I'm having the best 2.8 carbs that I've ever drank in the last 20 minutes. Allegedly. Have any other sponsored products floating around here? I'm not really sure. I think that's we're running low. But Pyropunk says, do you ever put reticulated foam in larger tanks to prevent sloshing? So as a picky guy, I have done some testing on this, and this is on rally bikes and factory rally bikes, and I didn't notice it as much as evidently I should have, because we could get, like, on the rally bike, the capacity was really, really important, and they were putting foam in there and they lost a little bit of capacity, and I'm like, you can take it out. It didn't seem like it mattered that much to me, which, like I said, is strange for a guy that claims he's super picky. But yeah, I've done it. I didn't really notice it as much as I guess I was supposed to, but I could take it or leave it. It to me, it was one of those things that didn't do much. Kenny EIO says California also tax you for the CO2 released from the fork and then take and confiscate the forks because it didn't use vegan non-GMO oil. Well, you're right there too, I guess. I mean, I moved. I want to thank California for all the stickers that they have created that say what's that proposition? It causes a warning. The Proposition 65 warning that goes on everything that you ever get, because I don't even know what a Proposition 65 warning is, but I ignore it because it's like, so it probably everything causes cancer. And so everything gets a sticker. And so we don't care anymore. So there we go. My complaint for the night. I'd like to thank Jerry B and the good team with a bad name. Their guys are going over 6 days. They got a 6-day team again. Check that out. Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, by the way. Donate, support. This is a hot shoe, a heart shoe, actually. It's called the Heart Shoe. The money that the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame raises goes to get shoes like this for people in need. Super good cause. Gene Woods there. And if you're in Vegas, like my buddy Mike was, who went to Vegas and didn't go to the go-kart track, and I told him, you'll never be able to tell anybody that you can beat my lap time there. And if you do beat my lap time there and you send me a picture of it, I'll see if I can get you a bonus race so you can prove that it was a mistake on the timing device. Okay. And someone, STRMRDR says, I ran tank foam in my stock 08 YZ450 riding moto, and he liked it a lot. Okay. So there we go. I try not to disqualify anybody's opinions. I mean, you know, it's like I feel that my job in the media is to describe things and explain things more than tell you what is good or bad, except for California business law practices and stuff. Business in California no longer sells stuff. It's so bad. My recently purchased a Simpson pressure washer, legal in 49 states. Yeah. I have friends that live in California that they send me products all the time, and then they show up and pick them up. They say, hey, can I ship something there? I'm like, yeah, no problem. I don't know what they're doing with it. So all good. Well, everybody, hey, thank you all for joining in. We got to pick a winner for Roosterendo, by the way. So back to Roosterendo. So you're going to have I'll talk for another minute. This is Seth's bike and this is Paul's bike. So it's Beta versus Yamaha. I said in the beginning of the show that 99% of the time Yamaha just wins, but I'm lying. Seth is really close because we had to identify this photo by drinking a Rainier beer. We matched it to the can. I think that could be Olympus. I don't know. But anyways, but that's Seth's bike. And this is Paul's bike, highly customized Yamaha trials bike, a TY80. Mike, my co-host for half the show, said he liked the TY. I'm completely torn at this moment, so it looks like you guys are going to help. I will tell you that Seth did join into the show. He tried. He listened to the beginning. And then Paul has not shown his face unless he's hiding in the chat. So I don't know. I'm going to give him a second to chime in, but I think, in all honesty, because I like people that support the show by listening to it and watching this, because it's got to be painful for you. I understand. I feel your pain. I'm right here with you, just on the other side of the problem. Seth, you win a Roosterendo with your Beta. Yeah, you're still here and you're the winner. So, hey, send me an email. I know. Hey, it's my show. I can do whatever I want. That's the way I run this thing. I appreciate the support. I appreciate everybody entering. The good thing is that Paul can send a picture of another bike. There's no way that that's his main bike, and he probably has another one. And then he just has to remind me that he had the TY80, and then he'll get some other favors or something like that. But anyways, Seth, send me an email. Remind me that I'm supposed to get you hooked up with Takomoto. That's takomoto.co. They, along with Yamaha and Bulletproof Designs and Tugger and Fast Company and all these guys come together to help me get motivated, because with the millions of followers and impressions that we get, can't help myself. And to end this show, I'm going to show you a video of me, because I know me getting smashed here, testing the Honda. So this is the Catapult, the famous Catapult, and that's the Jimmy Bolt. Crush, smash, crunch. So testing the suspension. So with that, everybody, I like this show. We're going to help you out with a little Yep. The more you know. And you know, I have a screen here that's like the end of the show screen that I never put on this thing. I should actually do that one of these times. I can barely start the show. I don't even know how to make the show end.